Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the No DQ live recap of Monday Night Raw for February 24th, 2020. We have WWE Super Showdown coming up this Thursday on the WWE Network. Special start time of 12 p.m. Eastern. Keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and discuss Raw. Shout out to everybody watching, whether it's live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership as always. We had a recap of what happened last week with Randy Orton beating down Matt Hardy for the second week in a row. We had the introduction with the pyro. It was hyped up as being the first Raw in Winnipeg in 15 years. Looked like a sold-out crowd. From all the different camera angles, it looked like the place was full. WWE drew a really good number last week in Vancouver, so maybe they need to hit Canada more often. We had Randy Orton come out for his opening segment promo. He apologized. He talked about how his emotions have become unbalanced. He talked about how on Raw 15 years ago in Winnipeg, he was punched by a man, and the crowd thought this man was Y2J, Chris Jericho, because they were chanting Y2J, or maybe they just felt like it, because after all, Chris Jericho's from Winnipeg, you idiot. Orton talked about how Edge punched him and how Edge was a guy that he would learn to love. He said that the crowd would not be able to understand why he did what he did. This led to Kevin Owens coming out. Big babyface pop for the Canadian. Kevin Owens came down and said that he doesn't believe that Randy Orton's apology is sincere. And he still wants to know why. He wants to know why Orton did it. Orton said that Owens does not want to go down that road. Owens said he does want to go down that road. And he talked about how he was a wrestling fan and he used to watch Edge, and then he got to see Edge come back from his career-ending injury and witness that firsthand. Orton responded by saying, "You think you know me?" And that's when Owens decided to challenge Orton to a fight. Orton did accept the match. However, it wasn't going to be right there on the spot. That would be later on in the main event segment. Lots of messages in the chat room. Apparently, it's Kayfabe Candy Ass's birthday, so happy birthday to Kayfabe Candy Ass, one of the longtime loyal No DQ supporters. Have a great one, Kayfabe Candy Ass. We had a backstage promo from Angel Garza and Zelina Vega. Zelina talked about how they are going to take out the trash. It was Angel Garza versus Umberto Carrillo in a one-on-one match. Pretty long match, back and forth between these two. Good match. I enjoyed it. I just wish Umberto had a little bit more personality, but match was really solid. Got some Spanish flies in there. Umberto did his standing Spanish fly, and then we had Garza do his top rope Spanish fly. Zelina Vega got on the apron, distracted Umberto. Then they had a series of near falls back and forth. Eventually, Garza picked up the victory over a very game Umberto. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, "Do you think Randy Orton would use the punt on Edge at WrestleMania?" I would like to see the punt brought back, whether it's before WrestleMania or during WrestleMania. I think that it should be utilized. And because it hasn't been used in so long, I think that the fans would really ooh and ah over that. So maybe we'll see it. Ken Terminated by Google with a $5 super chat says, no riff, today is TJS's birthday. As the only TJS fan, I would like to say happy birthday to Tyler Joseph Smith. I could have sworn it was a couple days ago. I wished TJS a happy birthday on Twitter a few days ago. Regardless, happy birthday TJS, happy birthday Kayfabe Candy Ass, happy birthday month. How about that to both of them? That settles that. And happy birthday to anybody out there who celebrates their birthday in February, including my mom. There you go. I covered all my bases. Backstage, we had a recap of, well, not backstage. We just had the recap of Shayna Baszler biting Becky Lynch on Raw 2 weeks ago. And then we had a one-on-one match. The number one contender for the WWE title, Ricochet, versus Luke Gallows. Last week he fought Carl Anderson, so he's got to face the other guy. It just has to be done. Ricochet picked up the win with the shooting star press. And it should be noted that the shooting star press was Brock Lesnar's move, not his finishing move, but he did it in OVW, and then he attempted to hit it at WrestleMania 19. Did not really go the way he wanted, but there you go. I guess Ricochet with a little reference to Lesnar with the shooting star press. We had backstage Anderson and Gallows arguing. AJ tried to calm them down, talked about how, yes, a miracle could happen at the upcoming Super Showdown pay-per-view. Just like Rey Mysterio could have pulled off a miracle, maybe, just maybe, Ricochet will pull off a miracle. And then that's when Alistair Black walked by, and AJ did not like the cut of Alistair Black's jib, so AJ started talking trash, and then the three of them beat down Alistair Black and left him laying. Excuse me there for a second. I still got a sore throat, guys. It's just, it never ends. We had Brock Lesnar come out with Paul Heyman for a promo, and there was a very big pop for Brock Lesnar in Winnipeg. Lesnar, of course, has lived in Canada for some time now, and the fans see him as like a hometown hero. Paul Heyman did the usual promo. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, blah, blah, blah. He talked about how Brock Lesnar owes Ricochet an uppercut, and talked about how this match is even more special than usual because the stakes have not been higher. Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania main event is in jeopardy if Ricochet could somehow pull off the victory. However, if is a word that could be thrown out the window, according to Paul Heyman, because it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. He's only been wrong like one time, according to Heyman. Ricochet is going to Suplex City, and Brock Lesnar is going to beat Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Technically, it was good delivery from Heyman, but man, I am so bored to death with these Paul Heyman promos. It's the same thing. Yes, it's technically good, but I want to see something different. Change it up. It's old. We've heard the same exact promo now for the past 8 years and counting. Probably another 5 years of this. And of course, people will say, oh, that's great. Paul Heyman is such a great promo, even though it's the same exact promo every single week. We had Alistair Black, who was selling the attack from AJ Styles in the club, up against Eric Rowan. Rowan did dominate much of the match. Black made a comeback, and then they fought on the outside of the ring. Rowan went to go for a crossbody block, and Alistair Black moved out of the way. Rowan crashed into the steel steps, knocked over the cage, and he just snapped. He took Alistair Black and powerbombed Alistair Black into the ring post, which in a different era, that would have been an injury angle and would have put somebody out of action for 6 months. But nope. 2020, everyone pops back up from just about anything. So they get back into the ring, and Rowan went back to check on the cage. He almost got counted out. He ran back in and then got hit with not one, but 2 black masses, and Alistair Black picks up another victory. After the match, Alistair was asked about how he was able to overcome the odds. And he said one word: rage. He then said that his rage will be AJ Styles' burden. And then he challenged AJ Styles to a match on next week's Raw, and it was officially confirmed. Next week, AJ Styles versus Alistair Black. We had a Drew McIntyre backstage interview, and there was footage shown of his debut in 2009 when Vince McMahon referred to him as the chosen one. He said he had nobody to blame but himself for not winning any world titles. He said he lost his passion during the 3MB era and got fired from the company. He did not think he would ever come back. However, he worked hard, he grinded, he met with Triple H, and he left WWE a boy. He came back to WWE a man. And he said at WrestleMania, he will fulfill his destiny. Pretty solid promo here, pretty solid interview. I liked it, good stuff here. One of the highlights of the show. Then we had R-Truth in the ring for the winter premiere of Truth TV. Isn't that a channel? Maybe I'm mistaking it. True TV, I think. Close enough. His special guests were Bobby Lashley and Lana. However, Lana said that they were not there for an interview. They were there for a match. It was scheduled to be Truth versus Lashley. Crowd started chanting Rusev Day, and Lana said that Rusev Day is canceled, which it might be legitimately. That might be a shoot, brother, because Rusev apparently has been pulled from the match. Now, there is some confusion about this because Rusev is on one graphic, but on another graphic, he has been replaced by Rey Mysterio. Not sure what's going on with that, but Rusev, maybe he's in the match, maybe he's not. I don't care. I did change my bonus picks for the No DQ Predictions League. If Rusev's not in it, then I got to change it up and go with some different things. Anyways, we had this match, but before the match, Truth tried to get out of it by saying he was just there to ask questions. He asked Lashley if he saw Sonic the Hedgehog. Lana was fed up. She had the referee ring the bell. R-Truth tried to do the move that his childhood hero John Cena would do, the 5-knuckle shuffle. However, Lashley quickly rebounded, hit the spear, and picked up the victory. People's Wrestling Channel says Wikipedia says Rusev isn't in it. Well, if it's on Wikipedia, it's 100% confirmed, guys. We had a recap of last week, Shayna Baszler's promo. And then we had a contract signing. A whole month went by without a contract signing. You know we're getting at least one for WrestleMania. Maybe 2. So contract signing, we had 2 tables for the participants. This was for the Elimination Chamber match. However, one person was missing, and that was Shayna Baszler. We have a couple super chats here, so let me get to these real quick. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, Would Lashley be a bigger star if he cut good promos? Yeah, probably. I mean, Lashley's okay, not great or anything. But yeah, I think the mic work is a little bit weak with Lashley, and that could potentially be holding him back. He was never really known for his promos. And Asim, not sure how to pronounce the last name, says, what do you think about Triple H Undertaker build from Raw 11 for WrestleMania 27? Well, that is a bit off topic here, but real quick, I'll just say it was really well done. They just came out there and they did not even have to say a word to get people hyped up for that match. So there you go. Just the stare down was enough to get people interested in seeing them fight. Thank you for the super chats, guys. And Ken terminated by Google with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Ken. He says, it hurts me to say this, but I agree. I am sick to death of Paul Heyman's promos too. If Paul Heyman was allowed to bring back the big phone, the Paul E. Dangerously gimmick, would you find Heyman refreshing? I just want to see Heyman represent somebody else. Like, as great as Heyman and Lesnar are together, I think there's a story to tell with Heyman, the little weasel, going with a younger beast. And then Brock feuds with Heyman's new guy. I just want to see Heyman doing something different. Him and Lesnar, I think it's been long played out. It's the same thing. And I'd like to see Lesnar as a babyface and have Heyman try to run Lesnar out of WWE. Just do a different storyline. I'm not asking for too much, am I? Just something we haven't seen before. That's it. But thank you for that, Ken. I do appreciate it. So we had Asuka wanting to know where was Shayna Baszler for the contract signing. Jerry Lawler, who was the moderator, said she's either late or she's a no-show. He doesn't really know. And then pretty much on cue, we had Shayna Baszler come through the crowd. She was the last person to sign the contract. She stared everybody down. And then Natalya got into Shayna's face. Asuka came in, shoved Natalya down, and stared off with Shayna. And then Natalya attacked Asuka. And there was this big brawl. Crowd was chanting, let them fight, as security was coming in and trying to break everybody up. Becky Lynch came down, fought with Baszler, security there, whole 9 yards. So we had a contract signing and a pull-apart brawl in the same segment. Lucky me, right, guys? We had the Street Profits come out for a promo, and they made fun of Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. Montez Ford called Murphy Murph the Smurf, which I'm not even sure how that's an insult because Buddy Murphy or Murphy doesn't wear blue. So yeah, I get it. It rhymes, but how is it an insult again? I don't know. Is it because he's short? I don't know. I don't get the Smurf reference other than the fact that it rhymes. So I guess if it rhymes, it must be funny. So we had Murphy versus Angelo Dawkins as the first of two matches between the tag teams that we'll be facing at the pay-per-view. Rollins came in for a quick disqualification. Ford got back on the mic and said that Dawkins had hit Murphy so hard that Murphy had his first name knocked out. That was a better line. That line I thought was pretty good. And then we had the second match, which was Ford versus Rollins. This match was good. Ford definitely looked really solid in there with Rollins. We had Dawkins and Murphy banned from ringside during the match. Ford went for this big frog splash. He missed. And then Rollins hit the curb stomp to pick up the victory over a very game Montez Ford. Good stuff here. This match and Umberto and Garza were pretty good matches for Raw. We had an advertisement for next week's show. Beth Phoenix will be on to provide an update on the condition of Edge. We had the main event. We had Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Owens was in control early, and then we had the Disciples come down. There's still no official name for the tag team, so I guess they're the Disciples. That's what we're calling them. Seth Rollins and his Disciples. The Viking Raiders and the Street Profits came down to even the odds. And Rollins then came back out, got on the apron. Randy Orton gained control. Rollins was not banned from ringside, but there was a storyline reason for this, and I'll get to that here in just a second. The game is on 100 with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. He says, I have a hunch that Randy Orton will RKO Beth Phoenix next week. I like that idea. I think that would be a great angle. That would be a nice way to set up Edge returning, who, by the way, is advertised for the March 9th edition of Raw, which is in 2 weeks. So this would make sense. Beth Phoenix comes in, Randy Orton gives her the RKO, and maybe punts her. How about that? Or maybe gives her the concerto. That would be a great angle. I like that a lot. And then Edge comes back the next week. Perfect. So what happened for the finish here was all of a sudden Randy Orton hits a DDT, goes for the cover, and the referee does a Nick Patrick-like fast count, 1, 2, 3. Crowd is like, what the hell just happened here? Seth Rollins grabbed some steel chairs, and he tried to get Randy Orton to do the concerto to Kevin Owens. However, Owens managed to grab one of the chairs, and Randy Orton decided, not worth it. He got out of the ring. He slipped away. Owens then went after the referee, and he started pulling on the referee's shirt. It was revealed that the referee was wearing a Seth Rollins Messiah t-shirt. So he was, in fact, paid off by Seth Rollins. The referee got a stunner for his troubles. And then to top it all off, as Seth Rollins was on the stage watching in horror and disbelief, we had Kevin Owens grab a table and he powerbombed the referee through the table. And that, my friends, was the end of Monday Night Raw. I thought it was an okay show. I would recommend maybe checking out Umberto and Garza and maybe the Montez Ford and Rollins match. And the Drew McIntyre interview was pretty good. Everything else to me was filler. I'm going to give it a C. Average Raw. This was the epitome of an average Raw. Just okay. Nothing special. Nelson Moreno gives it a C+. OG85 with a C. J-Spin 401 with a C. Michael Wayne with a C. The Game is on 100 with a C. People's Wrestling Channel with a C. Jeremy Dorset with a B-. Matt Helms with a C. CC Drink with a C. Marshall Leonard with a C-, and Bob with a C. And Peter Burchett with a C. Kevin Luke with a D. Cleaver Colin Andrew gives it a middle-of-the-road C. So yeah, it looks like a lot of C's. Not really a whole lot to get me excited for the Super Showdown pay-per-view. And thank you, Christopher Willis. I was starting to feel better, and then my throat got bad again. So it's just like it goes up, down, up, down. A scene with a $2 super chat says, will Randy handcuff and kiss Beth like he did to Stephanie? I don't think so. I think, and I'm not even sure they're going to do anything because it's the whole man-on-woman violence, although we are in 2020, equal rights and all that. So maybe Beth will fight off Randy a little bit before getting taken out. She'll put up a good fight against him. But yeah, I think if we see anything, we'll see an RKO and maybe a concerto. I'd like the concerto a lot. I think that would be a really good touch to set up their match. And Ken, terminated by Google with a $5 super chat, says, is it Beth Phoenix an exclusive broadcaster to NXT? I don't think Mauro nor Nigel have ever appeared on Raw. Could be wrong. Well, Mauro was on SmackDown for a while, but that doesn't mean anything. You guys know the exclusive thing. WWE can throw that out the window whenever. And in this case, she's providing an update on her husband. So she can break the rules. She could show up on Raw and do whatever. Thank you for that super chat, Ken. I appreciate it. And thank you to Asim as well for the super chat. And Jeremy Bland says, is the letter downgrade included in your C? I mean, yeah, the contract signing. I might have given this a C+ if it wasn't for the contract signing. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, can Christian take an RKO or is he not cleared? I don't think he's cleared. I don't think Christian can take any bumps. Otherwise, I would think they would definitely do something with Christian to set up the match with Edge. But yeah, I don't think he's clear to wrestle. And even if he was clear to do something, I don't know if that would be a good idea because it would give people the impression that he was wrestling again. So unless Christian was going to be competing again, don't really see the need to do the angle. But yeah, it would be a nice touch for sure. And Holiday Christopher Mace with a $2 super chat says, should Christian go into the Hall of Fame this year? I say yes, but doesn't look like it's going to happen this year. We have most of the names pretty much set in stone. Batista, NWO, Bella Twins. We also have a couple other rumored names. British Bulldog is rumored. JBL's rumored. But yeah, I definitely think Christian should be inducted. Why not? Have Edge induct him. Would be a fun moment. I think he deserves it. They could end up inducting them as a tag team. That would not surprise me. Edge gets a second Hall of Fame induction. Anything's possible. I just got a cold, guys. That's all. I appreciate you guys with your concern. Just the cold. It happens. Happens every so often. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Try to rest up a bit. I will be back Wednesday night for AEW and NXT. And then we got Super Showdown. A lot going on. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. Check out the predictions video. Hold on a second. Time out. DJ Whitey with a $10 super chat. So we're not done just yet. He says, is it safe to say that we are going to get Tyson Fury versus Baron Corbin at WrestleMania? Since he won the fight with Wilder, you could play up on Corbin's amateur boxing background or use the King versus King story. Your thoughts? I do not want to see Tyson Fury in another match. I really had no interest in seeing him versus Braun Strowman. I had no idea who he was until he showed up on that SmackDown. I guess if you're going to bring him back, have him face Corbin. I really see no need in him facing Strowman again. I suppose they could do a tag team match. Maybe they could do that. It would give Corbin something to do, but me personally, I really have no interest in seeing it. But thank you very much for that, Super Chat DJ. And on that note, I'm off to watch Better Call Saul. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting the site and the channel. Please keep spreading the word. And I promise my voice will be better soon. Promise you guys. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all next time.